see that to come up? Is there like, does it have your picture there?
Yeah, I got a picture of Michael and
I can't see you. I can't hear you in the room. Are you?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Let me see if I can, say hello again.
I think, hello, hello, hello.
Okay, I can hear you. Let me just ask the room. Can everyone hear William?
Test 1, ringy dingy, 2, ringy dingy, 3, ringy dingy.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to try something. William?
Yes.
Okay, can everyone hear him that way? That you are the CEO and founder of the Michael Jackson Innocent Forever Foundation, and we take our hats off to you, and Steffi is the web mistress of it all.
Yes,
So, she's been working diligently, which you can share
yeah.
what's been going on in the updates on the foundation website.
Steffi's been doing a fantastic job on the website. I brought our website page up here. For some reason, the music's not playing on it, but on the right side, I don't know what you can see, but you got Tiny Chat over here, and over here you've got our website, the MJJ Innocent Forever Foundation Inc. Steffi has been designing this. There's no cookie cutter stuff in this. She's built this all up from the ground. It will be within a few days, so that it'll be in multiple languages. Right now, if you go on MJJ Innocent Forever and you get there and you don't understand the English, you got a choice of French, Italian, or Greek. She's got the page set to be interactive with all the languages, and we're just waiting. Spanish should have been the easiest one. For some reason, we haven't got all the Spanish translations of the website. But our donations are coming in. They're not as fast as we'd like. We've got on the website, according to the meter here, we've gone quite a bit from the first days. I don't see the meter here. I guess she got it hidden down here. But last time I saw the meter, we had over 7,000 views. And I don't know, 200 and some donations. We have a list. You can click on the donators list. And we've already filled up the first page. I call these foundation builders. These first 200 are the foundation builders. We're now up to 265 published donators, and there's some that do not want their name listed. One question that came up before was who will own the rights to the biopic documentary. Once a film is done, it's put on the air. The foundation will own the rights to it, and I will reserve residual rights only if the foundation disincorporates. But the foundation will own it, and we're hoping that'll be a moneymaker for the foundation to bring in money in the future, so that we can keep on donating to those charities for children that Michael had special desire to donate to. And we have a long list. Steffi has it. We haven't published that list because we're not sure it's absolutely complete, but it's a long list already. Steffi's just been really busy working with the translators, and we have our first advisory members are also on here. You can go to the tab that says advisors, and it should bring up Anna Connor, Debbie Looney, and Kim Douglas, and there will certainly within the next week be another dozen or so added. We hope to get 2 advisors in every state, 2 advisors in every nation. And these are the people, Dina, who I'm looking forward to coming forward with ideas to build the foundation's finances strong quickly so we can get into the production mode of this documentary. Well, that's what it is. It's a biopic documentary because it's a documentary can be made from old footage that's already existing. Biopic actually recreates the original footage, but uses mostly all new film footage. And ours, we're going to take a substantial amount, probably more than 80% of the biopic will be directly off the court's official record. And I've read the record. I was at the trial, so I don't need to read the record, but I go back and I reread things sometimes to refresh my memory. Remember, it's been 6 years since Michael was squeezed through this ringer, and he came out, emotionally damaged. And I think we all recognize that the Michael that started that trial was standing on top of his limo in the beginning of the first hearing of the arraignment. Wasn't the same Michael that had to be helped to his limousine on verdict day, where there were hundreds of fans just all over the courthouse grounds, and the media was left with egg on their face. Nancy Disgrace, among the worst, kept talking as if it was a pre-concluded conclusion that Michael was guilty. And I didn't even go into the courtroom on verdict day because I already knew they couldn't do anything but come back with not guilty. The evidence was crap. It was all refuted. The prosecutor's witnesses either turned on the prosecutor, like Debbie Rose did. She was the bombshell witness, said, oh boy, we, Tom Sneddon said, we got a bombshell witness, and it turned out to be Debbie Rowe. And yeah, it was a bomb. It was a bomb in Tom Sneddon's face. Gavin Arvizo and Star Arvizo were not believable. They were not believable. They were caught in their own lies. And the one, as I said this the first couple of Tiny Chat shows did, that stands out in my mind was the fingerprint evidence. Those boys claim they got their fingerprints on that barely legal magazine in such and such a date at Neverland in Michael's bedroom. The problem was then, is now, and will forevermore be, the boys also testified that they had left Neverland on a certain date, and that magazine, the latest I think they said was early March, was the last time they were in Neverland. So it was after that March that they were last at Neverland. That magazine wasn't published till October, so it's impossible for them to have been telling the truth. They were either lying about getting their fingerprints on the magazine, or they were lying about the date that they were last at Neverland. And the date they were last at Neverland was not refuted, as far as I remember, anywhere. And Tom Sneddon, he knew he had been caught committing felony evidence tampering. And I asked the question in the media pool, which is off the court record, it was outside behind those green tarps. I said, shouldn't we convene a case against Tom Sneddon for lying and committing fraud on the court? See, there's 3 felonies he committed. He committed fraud on the court by bringing falsified evidence. Secondly, he committed felony evidence manufacturing. That's a separate felony. And then he worked with Zonin and Auchincloss and Magnicola, the other 3 prosecutors, in a conspiracy to commit fraud on the court. That's 3 separate felonies. 1, 2, 3. 3 separate felonies committed by the prosecutors. And because fraud was committed, fraud tolls the statute of limitations. They can still be prosecuted. And yes, you ask most of the attorneys, they'll say, oh, no, that's never been done. Well, that may be true. It's never been done, but it's never been done because the lawyers generally are a gang of criminals who conspire with each other to hold each other unaccountable. And it's going to take a de jure grand jury of we the people to hold them accountable. It's as simple as that. We do the film. We put it on Santa Barbara TV on all channels. We put it nationwide. We put it all over Europe. There will be such a clamor to bring trial against these prosecutors because right now they're operating in secrecy. They didn't prosecute themselves. Of course they didn't prosecute themselves. Of course they're not. And neither did Christine Stanley, who was handpicked by Sneddon to focus on other things and make sure he didn't get indicted. And she's now died. And a gal named Dudley has taken over, another female DA, and she's letting other criminals like Dan Raymer, and you can look up my YouTube clip, Dan the Man, and see what he got away with. And so there's an ongoing pattern of the Santa Barbara District Attorney's Office allowing criminals that work in the Santa Barbara District Attorney's Office, there's an ongoing pattern of letting them commit crimes and get away with it. Well, under the common law, and that's the only way you'll get them is under common law, a de jure jury can look at this and say, hell's bells, this is massive fraud, and the statute of limitations has not run, and we can prosecute them. We just need a true bill of indictment. And I believe there's enough good people in Santa Barbara, when they see the truth on TV and it occurs to them that people are not going to want to come to a county that they have criminals running the government, especially the district attorney's office. It will have a financial overtones that will hit their pocketbooks. And believe me, when it hits their pocketbooks, they're going to want Sneddon and Zonin, Auchincloss and Magnicola indicted, arrested, convicted, so they can say our county's clean. Please move up here. Bring your millions. It's a beautiful county. It is a beautiful county unless your name happened to be Michael Jackson and somebody had a bone to pick with you and they misused their office to go after you. So we can do it. We must do it. If we don't do it, we can expect worse things to happen to the rest of us than happened to Michael Jackson. And what happened to Michael Jackson was absolutely atrocious. It was just atrocious. Don't know what else to say. Anybody got any questions before I leave? Well, there's a lot of problems with the underwear evidence. There was some talk about Michael and one lad took a swim in the swimming pool and underwear was left behind, but I believe, I'd have to go read the record again, the security guard or whoever it was that claimed they found underwear there, they went back into the house in wet swimming trunks, wrapped up in towels that were also wet, but they didn't see anything and nothing untoward. I mean, I have people do that in my swimming pool. My daughters and friends have come over and they'd leave their stuff and they wrap up with a towel around their wet swimming suit to go in to change again. And in this case, I think the young lad in question got into his pajamas and just totally forgot he left his underwear. I don't think that was ever clearly identified as to why they did what they did or it went that way. I don't think that was ever clearly identified. But there was nobody in that trial, and I was there almost every single day except verdict day, and the 3 days they kicked me out because I shook hands with Tito Jackson in the courtroom during a break. The jury didn't see it, the judge didn't see it, but the bailiffs went apeshit. And except for those days, I was there, you know, all through those months and months of trial. And all I can certify to you that I went in believing that Michael was guilty at least of giving some alcohol to the boys, not the sister, but the boys. And I only believed that because if I had a kid living at my place and I knew he was going to die in 6 months, he was never going to live to be 18 or 21, I wouldn't have a trouble letting him taste wine or beer just to see what it tastes like. I mean, if you're going to die before you reach the age of majority, I mean, what difference does it make? So I went in believing that, but I came out convinced that Michael didn't even give them any alcohol. They broke into the cellar, and the evidence was overwhelming that these boys broke into the cellar without Michael's knowledge or permission, and without the site manager, the property manager's knowledge or permission, or the cook's knowledge or permission. These were bad kids.